what started out as a shake ended up as a life changer. And I really thought we were going to start another failed diet and a failed business plan. And to my amazement, God had other plans in store for us and has welcomed us to a new, healthier life that we've just really started to undertake and change our bad ways of eating into healthier ways, and found a lot more positive things in life, and also have padded our bank account some. So that's a little bit on my story. I want to get the call started. First up, we have Sandy Ewing from the Midwest. Sandy, go ahead and take it.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandy Ewing, and I'm from the Youngstown, Ohio area. And I've been with ViSalus since November of 2012. When I started ViSalus, I was at my heaviest of over 300 pounds. I hated myself. I hated looking in the mirror at myself. I just basically sat on the couch and hid behind my feelings with food. That's when I was introduced to ViSalus and to my upline, Tuck and Mary Blackstone, who have done everything in the world for me, and I couldn't do any of this without them, for sure. I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure. My doctor told me if I didn't do something soon, I would not be around for my kids. And that's pretty much what it took for me to step aside and say, oh, my gosh, I've got to do something. The biggest break point for me was when I had my son, who is now 4 years old. I had him C-section, and it took 6 nurses to move me onto a hospital bed into recovery. And that kind of was my point where I said, okay, you know what, that's it. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself anymore. I want to be around for my family. I want to be around for my kids. I've always wanted something where I was helping other people and inspiring other people. And that's when, that was my breaking point. And I'm happy to say now I am down almost 115 pounds and 11 pant sizes. Yeah. And I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I'm off my anxiety medication. I'm off my antidepressants. I no longer have anxiety around people, which that was my biggest thing, was talking to other people. Now you can't get me to shut up. But I love talking to people, whether I'm at the gym, wherever I'm at. I love meeting new people, and I just feel, I'm the mother and the wife I wanted to be. I'm at the gym 7 days a week. My trainer keeps telling me to take a day off, but for me, it's kind of like I want to be at the gym. I want to be helping other people. I want to be inspiring other people, and ViSalus it's changed my life, and I can look in the mirror and I love who I see, and for me that's huge for me. And I've also, thanks to my upline and all my supporters, I've put myself out there, and I'm running for the regional champion. And for me, putting myself out there, it's been amazing. I mean, it's an amazing feeling to finally love myself and be comfortable enough that I'm putting myself out there in the open. So I just love all of these, especially Stephanie Morris. I just love these inspiring stories. They keep me going. The 3 for free, that's another, getting my kit free, which I've gotten every single month, has helped me want to continue this journey. That 3 for free program is just so amazing, and I'm just so excited to continue my journey with ViSalus.
Wow, Sandy, what a phenomenal story.
Thank you.
Gosh, you've hit on so many things, because I know how it is. I still have another 100 pounds to lose, but when I look in the mirror, it just shocks me at how much better I look and how much better I feel, and I know I walk with my head a little higher just from changing one simple thing in my life. The other thing is to support the Vi community. I agree. I wouldn't be able to do it without the Vi community and my friends that chime in also. that, just have my back. And when I'm having a bad day, I know that there's people out there watching me, and I inspire them just as much as they inspire me. Thank you so much for sharing your story. That is phenomenal. Congratulations. Good luck on your regional champ. I'll be sure to vote for you on Sundays. That's always exciting.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we have Casey Holloway. She is from the Southeast Florida area, and I'm excited to hear Casey's story. Casey, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody, and thanks for having me on the call. My story, I was one of those people that would lay in the bed on Saturday morning or Sunday morning, and the infomercials are on, and you see the Nutrisystem and the Zumba and the different weight loss programs, and they have these people on there that, have lost over 100 pounds, and I would lay there just rolling my eyes like, that is never going to happen for me. I would always assume that, those people didn't really have jobs, or they had plenty of money to pay a personal trainer, or they had money for personal chefs and nannies taking care of their kids and all of that stuff, and that just wasn't me. I was a regular person, married. My husband and I own an auto repair and performance shop, so married to the business as well, hardly have time for anything. 2 kids, 12 years apart, so, one of them's grown and gone, but the other, still needs our attention, of course. And I just was one of those people that said, I don't have time for that. I like to eat. I don't have time to cook because we go through the drive-thru because we work too late, or, whatever the reason for eating the way we did was. I just really didn't think that it was possible for me to be able to lose that weight like the people on TV. And I was 260 pounds toward the end of 2013. And, I didn't really have any health problems. And I didn't really have a big defining moment that made me want to do it. But my friend, Cam Stevens, one of my vendors, he was one that he would come in to my shop, and he would show me a picture of he and his wife. I'd be like, oh, that's nice, and just, accommodate him because he was just showing me his picture and how he did it. Mm-hmm. I would politely ignore it. And so I was like, this was probably like 4 or 6 months of him showing me his picture. And finally I was like, okay, let me try it. Do you have some samples or something? So he brought me two little packets. And I did not want to go to a party. I did not want to hear about trying to get it for free. I just wanted to try it. And so I did. And I liked it. And like the first day, I could tell a difference in the way I felt. So I went ahead and ordered it from him, and I didn't want to go to parties, and I didn't care about telling other people to get it for free. I literally paid for it for 8 months until people started really knowing that I was losing weight and I was getting popular. So I said, okay, that's when I decided to promote myself to an executive promoter. But going back to when I first started, I was able to lose 35 pounds in 2 months. I lost 50 pounds in just over 3 months. And then I lost my 100 pounds in 8 months. And that's when I decided to become a promoter, when I started sharing it, and then everybody knew it. And so when I finally started promoting it, and then I could bump myself up, and now I'm getting the biggest and the best kit for free. And that's really helped, because before I was just doing the basics and made it do, but now I get all the good stuff. So anyway, finally after losing 85 pounds is when I went to my first party, And then, of course, I'm meeting people and making new friends and learning and helping and trying to really be an inspiration to other people as well. Lately, I had the opportunity to get to meet, and I know I'm going to say your name wrong, but Kim Velati and Kelvin Santana, Ron Hankey, Michael Schaefer. There were 5 of us at one good party last week. So that was really nice to connect with them. And then I got to see Ron and Michael again on Sunday at Vince's house. So that was really good. And like I said, making friends and getting help from other people and trying to build our businesses together, it's been really good for me. And just to end, I don't want to take too much time, but I know if I had any advice or tips for anybody else that's working on losing the weight like we have, over 100, and actually I'm 120 today, exercise that you really like and stick with it, because Zumba has helped me so much. Actually didn't even start Zumba in the very beginning. I didn't start it till like April. And I just love it. I don't know what the words say in the songs, but I really like doing it. And I'm actually doing Zumba twice a day, most days. And the biggest tip is to get a fitness monitor. I have a Fitbit. I've been wearing a Fitbit only 3 days short of how long I've been doing ViSalus. And I love it. It holds me accountable. I compete with myself because I don't want to see any red marks on my screen. I want all green. And it really keeps me in line. So thanks for hearing my long story. And I wish everybody success in their journey. And back to you, Lynn.
Wow, what a great story, Casey. Yeah, I know there's a lot of closet Visalians out there that, they're embarrassed and they think they're going to fail again. And you just kind of have it made up in your mind that it's too scary to share. But then it's amazing how once it starts working, you really can't keep your mouth shut. And 85 pounds in, wow, that's phenomenal. Wow. Boy, you do sound like you're a dancing queen with Zumba. Love the tips. Those were great. I also wear a Fitbit, and I'm not as religious as you of watching it, but it does help keep me on track. So thank you very much for sharing your story. And next up, we have Stephanie out on the West Coast. We have the whole United States covered today between Midwest and Florida and now the West Coast. Stephanie, are you there and ready to take it away?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually in Michigan, so you've got 2 people hailing from the Midwest. So,
oh, gotcha. I don't know why I was thinking you were West Coast.
No, I'm from Go Wolverines. So, yep, I'm from Michigan.
Well, there you go. Another Midwest girl.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for having me on the call. It's, an absolute honor. A little bit about my story.
Can you do that?
I'm sorry? I've struggled with weight pretty much my entire life, all through high school, graduation. And every summer, I worked in Washington, D.C., and at Georgetown Medical School. I was a pre-med student, and in the summer of 2010, before the end of my summer, I found out that not only was I diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, I also found out I was pregnant. So being freshly diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, finding out that essentially my pancreas has shut down, just getting into a relationship, I moved back home, gave up my job at Georgetown Medical School, dropped out of my MCAT testing to get into medical school, and try to get my health back under control with someone that I was hoping I would be spending the rest of my life with. And about a month into the relationship, I found out that he was not the nice person that I thought he was. And about a month in, it was the first time that he assaulted me. And I was raised in a very traditional home, and I was taught that you stay with this person no matter what. And it's a very complex situation. There were other family members that he was threatening, and so I really didn't have an out. However, as I started to gain weight with my pregnancy, this was a very large turnoff for him. So I noticed that as I gained weight, the assaults and the rapes against me started to stop. And so I made sure that I stayed healthy for my pregnancy, but I made sure to gain as much weight as I could with trying to stay healthy, because I knew that it would keep this man away from me. And that's what I did. And my son was born. And as soon as my son was born, he had to have open heart surgery at 4 days old. So between the stress of that, the stress knowing that I am in a failing relationship, that somehow I had to break it to my parents about this perfect relationship is not what it seems, the stress of that, I actually dropped all of that weight. And lo and behold, as soon as I dropped the weight, he started assaulting me again. He would use a knife. He would use whatever he had to overpower me. And immediately my defensive mode struck back in, and I put the weight back on until somehow I found the courage to leave that situation. And it took me about 18 months. It took me gaining about 130 pounds. It took scars on my arms from what he did to me, a partially collapsed lung, and my diabetes completely out of control for me to finally break free of that abusive relationship. I finally came forward and told police officers what he had done and what he was planning on doing. And so not only did I just become a single parent to a child, but I also had to deal with a very high-profile court case that had roughly 13 felonies against my ex. And so the stress of a court case definitely played a toll on me. My body was literally in survivor mode. Whatever I did, I really stopped feeling. The best way I can describe it is I disconnected from who I was because I was going through the motions of what I needed to do to survive the situation. And it wasn't until about the end of 2012 when he was sentenced and I could finally breathe. But at that point, the one defense that I had of gaining weight to protect myself was actually the one thing that was killing me. In 2013, I went septic first. My blood was infected. I was hospitalized for roughly 4 days. The next bout I have was diabetic ketoacidosis, essentially meaning that my blood sugars were so high that my body turned acidic, and I was near a coma. The next one, I had to have a hospital stay. I had to have emergency gallbladder surgery because my gallbladder stopped working. I went septic 2 more times that year, and I had another round of my blood sugars being so high. So the one defense that I had that I thought saved me from being abused, I saw at 26 years old, I saw my life ending. 2 different times. They caught it just before I went into a coma from my blood sugars. So it was very heartbreaking because at 26 years old, having to choose life to survive an abusive relationship, and now I was quite literally fighting for my life, whatever I could. 2014 rolled around, and I went septic again, and I had a doctor sit down with me saying that if this happened again, that I would be dead, that my body was shutting down, my blood sugars were out of control, my intestines were not working properly, my stomach was not working properly, my liver was fatty, my spleen was enlarged, my kidneys had decreased kidney function, I had diabetic neuropathy, I was on over 300 units of insulin daily as a type 1 diabetic, I was losing feeling in my legs, I had decreased oxygen saturations. The doctor advised me to write out my will in case I didn't wake up one morning. And so it took me about 3 months at 26 years old to sit down with my mother and my stepfather to write out a will. And about that time, when I finished my will, I started seeing people's postings for Vitality. And my Facebook feed was blowing up with it. And I said, you know what? I've got one last chance. And when I say quite literally, I gave it everything I had because that's all I had to give. My son, just before I was hospitalized in 2014, was diagnosed with autism. And so not only was I fighting for my life, I had my son that all he has is me. And if I wasn't here, then who was going to be there for him? And so I signed up. I joined the challenge September 6th of 2014. I got plugged in right away with some just absolutely amazing individuals, Skip and Cindy Taylor. I say it was fate. It was God's working that allowed us to cross paths. They're my direct upline. They just welcomed me in with open arms, and when my body finally got what it needed, the weight just started coming off. I got to meet Nick and Blake, and I didn't have a cheat meal per se during my first 90-day challenge. Every time that I thought about having a cheat meal, I remember what that doctor told me, is that this was the only chance that I had. And I looked at my son that was struggling for his life too, and learning how to cope, and realize that he and I are both fighting together, and he's not giving up, and I'm not going to give up. And so in my first 90 days, I lost 90 pounds, and just recently last week I crossed over, and I've lost a total of 102 pounds. And I just have to say that, like, my biggest advice for anybody is that regardless of your situation, regardless of the trials that you've been through, you hold on to why you're doing it. Like, find your why, and you just hold on to that with every fiber in your being and never let go of it. And those low days that you have, that is what is going to push you, and that is what is going to drive you. The 3 for Free program, I mean, it's helped me stay on track. I mean, being a single parent, trying to raise a child on my own, it's allowed me to be able to continue this life. And not only am I changing my life with ViSalus, but as a child with autism, I'm using nutrition therapy to help him as well. And I've seen changes in him using ViSalus and trying to change his diet and giving him proper nutrition. Quite literally, ViSalus has saved my life. And I look at where I am now, and I can finally look in the mirror, and those distorted images that you have of yourself, like they're still there in the back of your mind, but you look at it, and with the community that you have and the people and the support that I have, you just have to celebrate how proud you are of yourself, because the person that I am now, I wish I could go back 2 years ago and tell that girl that it's going to be okay. And it is going to be okay, and there's so many more better things to come in the future. So yeah, that's my story. Back to you, Lynn.
Wow, Stephanie. I have no words. Thank you so much for sharing that story. Wow. Literally no words. I think the very end is so true for all of us, that when we think we were at the end of the road with our weight, that we never know what God has in store for us, or what another year or two will be like, if we just take that one leap of faith to change one thing. Thank you. Wow, Stephanie, thank you very much for sharing your story. Dave, I'm going to pass it over to you because I don't have words left.
Wow. I can tell you the words that I've got right now, folks, and that is that my Facebook is blowing up right now from all the people saying, Dave, who are these ladies and how can we connect with them? Wow. I knew tonight was going to be a different kind of a call, being the only guy on the phone with these amazing ladies, but wow. Every one of you has just touched on things that touch so many other people's lives. I mean, Sandy, let's think about yours. 6 nurses to move you into recovery. It takes 6 people to carry a casket, honey. That correlation alone is just speaks volumes. And Casey, 50 pounds in 3 months and 100 pounds in 8 months. Daggone, I thought I did it quick in 10.5 months. That's incredible. Mm-hmm. Stephanie, I knew part of your story, honey, but there's so much that you shared tonight that, wow, that's just unbelievable. Folks, you just heard 5 people on the phone that have lost a combined 542 pounds. I haven't even shared mine tonight, and I'm not going to. I'll just tell you that I'm down 105 pounds. So that's 5 of us at a total of 542 pounds. You can't help but hear that this is life-changing. So we ask you to make a decision today. Somebody cared enough about you to tag you on a post on Facebook, to send you a text message, to call you, to reach out to you, to run next door. Somebody reached out to you and said, you know what, you need to be on this call. And if you can't hear the emotion in these ladies' voices, if you can't hear their whys, the transformations that they've gone through, there's so many of us that are experiencing the exact same thing every day, and it does not have to be that way. We are given the most amazing tools to be able to reach our goals with ViSalus. All that we need you to do is reach out to the person that connected you with this call and say, you know what, folks, I'm going to give you 90 days. Let's change my health. It's just that simple, folks. This company is absolutely on a mission to crush obesity. Ladies, I thank you all so much for having the courage to stand up and tell your stories tonight. You all inspire people every single day, and it's evident by your Facebook posts. Wow. Folks, if you're on this call and you're part of the challenge and you have not shot your Project 10 video, we strongly encourage you to get that video shot, get that submitted. You think about it, the company is donating 90 meals for every 10 pounds that's lost. There's 542 pounds on this call tonight. That's a lot of meals donated to kids, to a nonprofit in your area. So reach out to any of us. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. Ladies, thank you. If you're on this call and you're a customer, you're not part of a challenge group, but you're part of somebody's team, reach out to the person that signed you up and say, you know what, let's get this challenge group going. Let's do this thing together. Let's increase our results. Let's increase our focus. Let's find our whys. And it's like we say in Visalis, you need to find the why that makes you cry. And like Stephanie says, never let go of it. Hold on to it with every thread of your being. Folks, our next call is going to be Thursday night, same time, 9 o'clock. We ask all of you to be there, to share it, to get the word out, to get as many people on this call as you can. If you are on this call for the first time and you don't know anything about Visalis, all you know is you got these people telling you incredible stories. Go check out this website, overview.vi.com, overview.vi.com. 10-minute video, watch it, and reach back out to the person that called you and say, all right, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to give you 90 days of my life. I trust you, and let's do this. So, folks, I thank you all. I'm just in amazement. I thank you all so much for your time tonight. And we truly look forward to hearing from everybody Thursday night. This call is officially wrapped.
What are you watching?
It's called, it's called little Friday Night Type. And you can change it, man. I was sitting here and it came across my phone. It's on your show. I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm so tired.
Crap. You've been sleeping for 4 hours. Oh, yeah? Okay.
One lady lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Another lady, another lady lost 60 pounds in 90 days. So they were just telling their stories.
What is it, though?
It's fake.
Is it what? How do you do it all the way?
How do you